Hello friends and welcome back to another episode of Prison Architect. It's me Astro, I'm here with you in this flaming dumpster fire that is number one's prison. We're gonna blame this son of a bitch for causing all the trouble here. It's totally his fault that this place is just absolutely riddled with problems. Where are you going? Oh god. Cleaning cupboard? Well, that's a bit of a problem. I don't want you chaps coming all the way out here to get to the cleaning cupboard. So let's fix that up. So where were we? Alright, well, look, we've got a few things going on. As per usual. At the moment, it's not terribly bad. We've got the new bottom end of the prison, the new minimum security wing, coming along nicely, and hopefully what we're going to see out of that is a little bit more income, passive income, where those prisoners are just going to be rotated out, preferably relatively rapidly. So we'll go and pay them a visit, shall we? We'll stroll in here through the reception. I'd like to put some doors on here, but we'll get to that shortly. So these poor bastards in their horrifically bad cells are just pacing about with absolutely nothing to do until it's time for parole time, and then they come up to one of these rooms and they sit down facing this way. Three dudes sit down facing this way and they judge them mercilessly and decide whether or not they are fit to return to society. Now, I for one quite enjoy the idea of that. Judging people randomly, making sure that they're going to be productive members of society should they be released back to the world. But actually, no, I don't really like that at all. It sounds kind of terrifying. But it does serve to bring in a wee bit of the folding stuff for us, which we can use to, well, build some more points here, but some more cells in this block. Finally, we're going to, the Ogre. What's your story, the Ogre? Born deep in the dank swamps of Duloc. Ah, swamps. This man was king of far, far away until his brutal regime was overthrown, oh nice, by Alatola Khomeini. He has committed numerous crimes against humanity and has been denounced by every human rights organization ever. Sentenced to 4 years for multiple crimes, including vandalism and perjury. Well, look, I don't know. If you're an ogre from the dank swamps of Duloc, I would assume that you would do something a little bit worse than vandalism and perjury. It's just me. I'm just saying. Maybe you could, like, feast on the flesh of man, or, you know, star in 3 really shitty comedy movies with a poorly spoken Scottish accent. I'm just saying. Actually, to be fair, the Scottish accent in Shrek really wasn't terrible. Okay, it was bad. Anyway, so, parole hearing time. We've got some dudes. Oh, the ogre's actually up for parole. How are you going to do, buddy? What is your likelihood of release here? Let's have a look at, I think it's grading? Reform. Past 0 easy sessions. 1% of stay in... I don't know what that means. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's plan some things out here. We've got some cash coming in, which is nice. We've got $6,000 a day coming in, which is bloody excellent, honestly. And so I think what we should do, because I know that these chaps are going to start, you know, causing a ruckus sooner or later, I think what we should do, first thing off the bat, because we couldn't afford it last time, is we'll get some of these solitary cells online. So we'll just get some, let's see now. A solitary door, yes, we'll have one of those. We're going to have a toilet. We're going to put a light directly above the toilet. And we're going to classify this as a solitary cell. one whole square of which will be dedicated to these dudes. How are we doing for deployment? Is all of this still classified correctly? Yes. You do have to check in on that occasionally, but that's okay. Today we're good. Okay, so these chaps are going to come down and populate out this cell with its light and the toilet, which I believe we plumbed those in. Yes, we did. So that's good. That means now that we can just go zip, and then bink, 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 bonk. Done. So, that forms the basis of the solitary wings. Check deployment again. Okay, we're good. That's the solitary wing, as it were, for this block for now. It's enough. It's a good start. So, while we've got a little bit of cash, and it is ticking up rather nicely, let's get a couple more cells built in. And we'll copy this one, which will go in like this. And then there'll be one here, and then one here. And then we'll copy this, and that's going to go in here. There we go. So that is this cell block done and dusted. Excellent. Okay, so let's get a little bit, you know, let's add a little bit of care around here. So we're going to want some guards patrolling in each of these. Oops. In each of these blocks, we need to make sure that these chaps aren't causing any trouble. And we'll have one coming down here as well. And I think we should just have these permanently. Probably best. Probably best. Just to be on the safe side. I mean, eventually there's going to be more cells in this area. So we are going to need to be mindful. We're going to have a dude in here in lunchtime. We're going to have a dude in here in work time. And then... look, I doubt these guys are going to cause a ruckus in the patrol rooms. What we might be able to do, instead of putting a guard in each of these rooms, what we'll do, tell you what, we'll come into here, and we'll see if we can squeeze in so we can have one guard monitoring all of these. If we pop in a CCTV monitor, in fact, you know what, this guy, we'll just dismantle this, demolish? I was saying demolish and I got it crossed with dismantle. So we'll demolish this drink machine. I'm going to rotate it because I don't want it facing the CCTV monitor. That's not cool. And then let's go into... Oh, here they are. CCTV cameras. And instead of having a guard patrolling each of these rooms, we'll just have a camera sitting directly behind the parole officers, staring directly in their face, as a constant reminder that we are watching you. We know what you're up to. Okay. So, now we can pop in a drinks machine, but we'll rotate it this way, much better. And this needs some electricity power, which I think if we connect it that way, we'll just connect through those, so that's lovely. Do you know what? While we're here, let's just pop a sprinkler in here, because I don't believe that we have one just yet. And we'll put some little pipes in to feed these sprinklers, so one can go up, and then one can go down. Jolly good. Okay. So, that's taken care of that. These chaps are out here eating their food. This place is an utter pigsty, but that's fine for now. And we'll connect up these cameras just as a, you know, a little deterrent against people doing bad things. And if something does go pear-shaped, we can pop in there lickety-split and take control of the situation. So, cleaning cupboard. This is rather filthy out here, and I see a janitor doing his thing, and we are in work free time. So let's just double check. Prison labour. Aha. 1, 2, 3 guys can work in that cupboard, and 1, 2, 3, 4 guys can work in the kitchen. Good, so I'll at least give these chaps something to do. And what else we were going to build in here? I think that for now this is probably sufficient, but I would like to close this area off. I would like to have some nice lovely doors, walls I should say, wrapping around this section. And you know what? Let's put in some metal detectors here and here. And if we haven't already, we have. Okay, so there's power running through them now, so that means that if any of these chuckleheads tries to steal a spoon from the kitchen or from the canteen, they will not be able to, and they will be detected on their way back to the cell block or to parole, and they won't be able to spoon each other to death. Which is, I think, probably a good thing. That's, you know, the one scene that I can remember seeing from, do you guys remember that TV show Oz? That's like the one scene that I can remember from that, and I kind of watched that one episode and went, yeah, this is totally, no, this is not for me. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, congratulations. Because you don't want to know. You don't want to know. Anywho. Okay, so everyone's had their food. It's bedtime. They're all toddling off. Somehow, they all have, or not all of them, but they have some new clothing sitting here for them. This guy's got some dirty laundry. Ashnod. Excuse me, Ashnod. I'm just going to open your cell and peer in at you. Sven, a known and highly sought-after mechanic, was framed by a prostitute for the murder of Jonah, a long and close friend. She manifests a towering rage, leaving Jonah dead and Sven behind. Dude, that's kind of dark. Do you want to do you want to talk, dude? I mean, yeah, that's wow. I kind of don't know what to say about that. I'm sorry. Anyway, okay, so that's most of our cash done. I'd like to get another wall just drawn across here, and we'll see. Oh shit! And we'll see if we can get these little walls drawn in here. Nope, that's it. We're out of cash. 400. Is it going to tick over quickly? No. Okay, well that at least keeps people from getting to parole without going through the metal detectors first, which is what we want. I am actually quite surprised, now that I think about it. I have a pistol, and I am able to just cruise through these. So what, is this one of these cool new 3D printed pistols that just, or is it like, am I just, they've tricked me. You see, the guards, they were sitting around in the armory, they knew I was coming down to get a gun, because I'm like so trigger happy and I think it's cool and stuff, and they basically put down a rubber replica of a pistol, thinking, oh god, number one, he thinks he's just such hot shit, we're just gonna put this rubber pistol here and let him think he's got a real one. He's never gonna use it anyway. You know, he's just, look at how nebbish he is with his little glasses. And he's, you know, they've given me a stab vest too, but it's actually just a raincoat. Because they think that I just can't handle myself. I don't know what I'm doing. Ooh, look, there's $1,000 there. Excellent. Because we kind of need... Shit, where is it? A new capacitor here. You see, this is this power station is pushing to the limit. I would sing the song, but I mean, you guys don't want me to do that, right? You don't want me to sing silly songs in this series. That's just not on. Okay, so that should go in momentarily, and this should drop by a half a notch or 1 notch or so. There we go. Okay, good. So as long as it's not flashing, you don't need to worry too much. Okie dokie. So that's a good start to this cell block. And that's gotten us to 145. Now we still need to get all the way to 200. And the way for doing that, I think, is once we start ticking this cash over, I think that what we're going to do is come down here, and it's going to be a pretty penny, but we're going to buy this block here. Alright, so that will get us another 40 meters this way. And these blocks, which are, you know, this is a 10-person block, we'll just duplicate this all the way down. 20, 30, 45. That'll take us to 190. Which is pretty close. And then we've got to squeeze another 10 in somewhere. And what we might do is we might go over here, because there'll be a new section that'll be opened up on this side, which we can potentially pop in either a protective custody or a Supermax wing. So, Supermax, and here's, for those of you who've not played this too much, here's how it all works. So I've got low risk, normal risk, and high risk. Also known as minimum security, medium security, or normal security, and maximum security. But then, as you go up the grade, like, these aren't the only three, then there's Supermax, and then Death Row. And kind of, I guess kind of below MinSec is the other one, which is Protective Custody. So the idea behind Protective Custody is that these are guys who are snitches, ex-law enforcement, all that sort of jazz. Guys who, for one reason or another, are at risk of having a knife placed into their lung. Which is not where a knife should go. Generally it goes in a cutlery drawer, or if you fancy one of those blocks where it goes in blade first, or one of those blocks where it goes in blade first and it looks like a red man that's got knives all stuck into him, those are awesome, I love those. But it definitely shouldn't go into your lung. So, essentially, Protective Custody is a place where you can send all of those characters and they're separated from the rest of the prison population. And they won't get done, as it were. So that's a good thing to have. The other... How the bloody hell... Where is this guy? Hang on. I want to talk to this chap. How on earth did Venning get a power drill? That's what I want to bloody know. Does he at least want to be... He's a preacher. Does he at least want to be an informant for me? No. Well, Venning, I'm halfway tempted to increase your punishment, but I'll be nice. I am a generous god. Today is not your day of misery. So, whoops. Anyway, so Supermax, right. So the other thing that you can do, and what I always quite like to do, is faffing around with the policies. So in my policies here, you'll note if someone commits a serious injury, their security level goes up by 1 notch. So if they're in MinSec, like these chuckleheads, and they get in a biffo, and they... Oh, there's no lights in this room. If they get into a biff, and they injure another inmate, well then, their security level is going to go from minimum security to high uh-oh. Why? Why are those cameras off? Is it just because there's no one at the station? Okay, good. Whew. I thought I'd run out of power there for a moment. I was a bit worried. Anyway, so they would go from minimum security to normal security. And then if someone in normal security did it, they go to max, and then max goes to super max. And then once you hit super max, that's it. There is no way to send a super max person into death row. Which is a bit of a shame. It'd be nice to do that. It'd be nice if, you know, someone who was in Supermax and committed 3 murders while in prison could then be, they could then be sentenced to death. I mean, not that that's a nice thing, but gameplay-wise, that is an interesting thing. But, unfortunately... Oh, where's that? It's somewhere. Let's let's head in roughly that direction and we'll see if we can find out what's going on. So yeah, Supermax is its own little world in that you can... Is it around here somewhere? No, no, that's it. We're never going to know now. It's disappeared. Potentially someone in this cell is the culprit, because that cell was flagged for search, and that's what happened. Oh, hello. 2 unconscious, which means... Whoa! Jiminy Cricket. We've got a big old biffo out here, and then down here McDonough is just, you know, pumping some iron. You don't give a shit. You've got better things to do. Oh, my word. This prison, I swear. What was I saying before about a massive dumpster fire? Well, here it is, kids. Ah, dear. Okay, so, look, I tell you what, we've got 10k up our sleeve. So we're well on the way to getting that 30 that we need. Is there anything else that we need to put in between... Aha! Between now and then, other things that we could stand to put in are as follows. 1, objects, metal detector, 2 here, 2 here, a couple over here, and then we're going to have a new dog patrol right down this corridor. We're going to have it all the time. So, dog patrols are great. Metal detectors will help you detect metallic things, like knives, spoons, all that sort of jazz. Great. Dogs will help you detect smelly things. So things like drugs. And we've run out of power. So let's very rapidly pop in here. And we'll pop in a couple of fresh capacitors. They're not free range, I'm afraid. They're battery capacitors. Sorry, I couldn't help it. And we'll control click those to make that happen sooner rather than later, because that is fairly critical. Although, here's the bonus part. This side of the prison, where all these guys are, in complete darkness right now, even if they do get really murderous or what have you, they can't get out through these doors. See? I can't even get through them, because there's no power. They're just trapped forever. Isn't that lovely? Okay, so I can hear that things are kicking off in here though. But now we have power. Spiffy. A fight has broken out. Okie dokie. Well, it's a bit of a shame, but these things happen. I tell you what though, these 50 guards are not doing us at the moment. I think what we're going to need is another dog... No. We're going to need, staff. Another, probably 2 dog patrols. And let's take these guards up to 50. As close to 50 as we can. Almost to 50. Okay, so that looks better. So there are 49 regular guards. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are stationed and doing things, so ideally we want to have a little bit of slack space here, just to handle shit that goes down, like what just happened. Okay, so that's good. We've bolstered our workforce. We've added some metal detectors into this area, which is sorely needed. There are so many guys that are rolling about with keys in that area because they're escape artists that it's just utterly terrifying. Oh, we've got 2 new dudes here that have just joined minimum security. 3 more are arriving in 6 hours. So it looks like, you know, this side of the prison is starting to sort of fill up and take care of itself. So 45 normal security prisoners and 5 solitary. So I think next episode we'll look at seeing if we can get up that 30k, and then we'll We'll push this. Oh, there's Ron Jeremy again. We'll push this section south and get some more of these dudes in so that we can farm them for paroles. I haven't actually seen any paroles go through yet, but I may just not have been watching closely enough. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I always try to, I wonder, and I'll put this to you guys here. So normally at the end of a video, a lot of people say, hey, like and subscribe and hit that bell and all that sort of stuff. I kind of don't want to do that, but, if you do like this video, then go ahead and subscribe. I try and put a video up every day, so that, there's always new stuff to watch. And, if you enjoy it, there's always more to see. So, thanks guys. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time.